Hello, let me go over homework number one, what you need to do, some of the tips. Problem one is based on I several variables I ask you to determine if it's nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. Remember, based on the definition we had, uh, the type of variables uh, we define in your handout, you can determine what type of variables you have. So uh, one thing you have to pay attention, I know some of you read the book and they say in general some sort of variable um, for example, ratio or continuous or ordinal, but it depends the type of question we asking. So some of them is clear, some of them is not clear. So what I wanted to make sure, if you remember, in general, we classify two type of variable, categorical and continuous. The categorical means there is a gap between two value. For example, you have 1, 2, there is nothing between 1 and 2. And that can be nominal or ordinal. Nominal means there is no natural order. Ordinal means there is a natural order. There is numerical variable, which is there is a value between any value you can have. And for example, age, we can determine you are 20 years point something. So, or, the weight, we can measure it, in sort of exact with 10 decimal point. So there is a value which is meaningful too. The only difference uh, uh, between interval and ratio in continuous or numerical value is 0 is meaningful in ratio, and that means complete absence. If the complete absence is meaningful, then it's your variable is ratio. Otherwise, uh, otherwise the uh, if is 0 is not meaningful, you would consider it as an interval. So you want to make sure if the question asking if 0 is meaningful or not, then you uh, select right answer. So the gender, I ask number of children in a household. Again, the number the children, you can have 0, 1, 2, 3. So you have to determine which one it is. Marital status. Here, weight of baby born in hospital. Again, be careful. 0 is not meaningful here. So maybe some of the book referred the type of variable for weight something, but when it's not meaningful, you have to decide that, which variable you're going to select here. Again, I'm emphasizing how 0 is meaningful or not. Temperature of patient in hospital, 0 doesn't mean absence. Again, so again, it's not meaningful here. So you have to be careful about that. And here, years of school completed. Here, be careful. The years when we talk about years of completed school, someone can drop a school. You can have 0 education, and it's meaningful, and you can quit the education middle of year. So you can have some between value. So in terms of determining employee status is clear. Age of mother, again, 0 is not meaningful here. So you can have cannot have a 0 as mother. So be careful the choice you make. Number of a student in third grade, county of residence, grade level in an elementary school. The grade level in elementary school, like preschool, kindergarten, first, second, and third, and fourth. So that I meant here. So you want to make sure. So that's the first problem. The second problem I ask you to do is looking at this frequency. table distribution answered the question. What proportion of number of patients was admitted between 30 and 49? So 30 and 49. So you have to calculate that proportion. Again, you have to, there are a couple ways. You can add up the frequency, divide by total, or looking at the adding relative frequency proportion added up. So you can easily find between 50 and 54, what is the class highest relative frequency and what class lowest frequency. So looking at the frequency, what is the lowest, what is the highest, answer that question. Question 3, I asked you to calculate the means, the median, the mode, the range, the variance, and standard deviation, 25 percentile, 75 percentile. So you have in your, all of these questions, you have example in your handout you can use. So if you look at the handout, you can look at the problem here. So sort of the means, you can calculate it, basically the sum divided by the number, and also other means. There are several other means. The median, remember, is if you have to order the value for these observation. If you have even number, you have to find the two value in the center, average those two value in the center. The range is the minimum minus maximum, and the variance you can calculate also easily to by using the formula. So sort of again, this would be example how you can get the percentile. For example, the percentile, 25 percentile, you'd use MP formula, and if it's round, you take the average of that value and the next one. Those are the values. So, and this is the example for minimum Q1, Q2, Q3 maximum, and so again, to create the box plot, and the example shows that. So again, the range, the variance, you can use this formula or the computational formula. So there is example in page 8 of your part 2 assignment. So you can use that, answer all these questions. And question 4, what I ask you to do is looking at the physical activity and looking at the table 3 and answer these questions for me, and table 3 and table 4 for the manuscript. So basically, you're looking at this table 3, and this is table 3 you wanted to look at, and I asked several questions related to that, and also table 4. So you would answer from this table. So in terms of just, I hope this help you to understand what you need